Mango Bay, Mango Bay.
Mango Bay.
Mango Bay, Mango Bay, Mango Bay, Mango Bay, your Mango Bay.
For the exclusive content, don't forget to join our Patreon at patreon.com/Mango Bay. Mango
Bay.
Mango Bay,
Buddy,
you know what
thanks
it
for coming.
is.
It's great. All right.
Do I need to move over? Do I need to
There
get
you go.
closer?
Oh, you want to get in the mango?
Should I sit in your
People
lap?
sometimes-
Is this the rapper?
I
I don't know. You look so inviting.
Come on. You want to come in? Of course.
I'm vaccinated.
Sure.
Can we be professional about this? This is like when rappers are like, "Hey, turn on my headphones." I'm like, "You should have done this before the fucking song started. Turn up the headphones before you start the song."
Okay. Guys,
Kind of
Mango
operation
Bay.
are you running here?
Mango Bay.
This is the camera?
No.
I'm looking at this camera.
You're
Oh, I'm right here.
He's
Oh,
right.
so I'm in my own fucking frame.
Every actor needs to know his angles. He's
I
like,
know why.
Where's my light?
Where's my mark? Where's my mark?
Someone put some
Okay.
colored tape down for me.
Welcome to fucking Mango Bay, guys. We are here. This is the best podcast in existence. It's continuing its undefeated run. Guys, just follow us. Pranav, Usama, Siddiquee. 1 second. Get us our Patreon. Patreon content. We got loads of exclusive contents coming at you fucking fast.
What all do they
Every
get with
week,
the Patreon?
We
What
get
all
a
do they
free
get with the
audio
Patreon?
episode. They get a fucking free Mango Bites clip for every fucking episode. They get a topical news clip. All for $7 a fucking month. All right, so fucking get on it. It's our can't stop, won't stop tier. So get on
That's
it, bitch.
23 cents a day. Here's a couple of real ones who subscribed this week. Rusab Ali, Polina Pashkova, Aman Kurana, Bipla Rai.
Polina Pashkova sounds like the Eastern European Barbie.
Oh,
Polina Pashkova.
I like how he switched
comes-
accents immediately. It was almost seamless.
Hold on, we're gonna introduce you in a second. I'm gonna intro you, bitch. Hold
She
on.
comes with a refugee or whatever.
She comes with like 3 arms.
Yeah, Ryan Lutz, and then just Chris.
Okay.
Ruse Clues.
Ruse Clues is
we
great.
see you, Ruse.
Fun Patreon.
Kalyan Lakshmanan. Wow,
Oh.
he went so Indian. He had to add another onto his
That's
name.
that's my good friend, actually. Oh, shit. My God.
Tridib Bishwas.
This is turning into an art
Najib Mohammed.
Oh,
Jeremy
shit.
Pavka. I know you, Jer. I see you.
that was like-
Love
yeah.
pancakes, waffles, whoever the fuck you are. Nadia. Just
yeah.
Nadia, porn star. Noble Koshi. These are all sounding like made up names now.
Sure.
And then just Emmanuel. Oh,
Sure.
that was a lot.
I was about to
It's
say,
a good
that's
little
great.
run.
You guys got...
It's coming.
It's
Some
coming.
good
It's
subscribers this
Patreon's
week.
coming. Well, we're
Tip-
given, so they're coming now.
Today, we have renowned actor,
Thespian.
activist, Westchester native.
Westchester's own.
Oh, I mean, to get him.
I'm actually from Putnam County, but I don't tell anyone.
Okay. Podcast is over then. All
over.
Podcast
My
over. Yeah,
bad.
you didn't tell me about this.
I didn't
Putnam
know
County
he was from
shit.
Putnam.
No,
dude.
but you know what the thing
I
is?
didn't know he was
People from New
Putnam-pilled.
York, like, who actually are from New York will know the difference. People who are not probably born and raised. They
Right,
won't.
and
They won't
everybody in that doesn't care though.
Yeah,
exactly.
true.
Nobody
today,
cares.
Today,
Nobody cares.
Internationally, no one gives a fuck.
There's no video like Putnam people be like.
If there is one universal truth, yeah, no one's like, oh, he's Putnam pilled and based. No.
I gotta,
Hashtag Putnam Squad.
Yeah.
Hashtag y'all know.
you don't know about Putnam? Putnam County Spelling Bee?
There's no hot rapper
You
from
just
Putnam.
referenced the Putnam County spelling bee.
You see,
He's a proud son of Putnam.
I'm a
over
true
here.
thespian. You know?
Okay.
Just spouting my
Paris,
Broadway
France, New York,
Yeah.
Putnam County.
Putnam County.
knowledge. It's where the stars are made, so I don't even know where the fuck I'm looking.
We have
that's what they have under Fendi now. Paris,
yeah,
London,
Paris,
Putnam.
Should we turn it into a brand?
Yeah, Givenchy. It's
right.
PTNM. Whatever. PTNM number 5. It's the perfume they release. It smells like fucking trucks.
Yeah. It smells like exhaust and gravel.
It should just be the three of us in a really black and white commercial. Like,
yeah.
Pearls, just caressing each other's faces.
When are we on the Putnam train?
Hey, you want to smell like you're at a spelling bee?
Yeah.
All right. Shh.
You know?
Today,
You guys
wait,
have a Patreon?
Let me
I'll
introduce
start
your
my own.
fucking
This
bitch
is like the
ass.
Putnam version of Get Out. He's trying to like Putnam pill us.
Putnam pill us.
You see how I've made it so far.
Yeah.
You ever meet a girl who's like hot, but then she's from Putnam?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck. Get out too,
The
Putnam.
feeling when Putnam.
DFW, Putnam chicks be like. Putnam chicks be like. All right.
You're with Ritesh Rajan. Do you want to? What's your IG handle, Ritesh?
Tesh Rajan.
Hell yeah.
Tesh Rajan.
Teshraj.
One time I was going to give him shit when I met him for shouting his name out to be Tesh. Like, why just go Ritesh, bro?
Well,
Fucking be Ritesh.
Why
Why
not
Tesh
Rit?
it?
Why not Rit?
Well, everyone calls me. It starts off as Ritesh, right?
Right.
When I introduce myself, if I go to Indian people, they're like, huh?
Ritesh?
Huh? And I'm like, Ritesh. And they're like, oh, Ritesh! Okay.
They scream, they start hitting you.
Yeah. And then they,
Start with the kick.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay, South Indian.
I'm like, all right, yeah, it's like, because they got, the sambars coming,
Sambar.
coming down their arms. They can't use their arm to slap you.
That's better because
Yeah.
it gets to the bloodstream,
Just-
makes it spicier. Adds a little
Have
sting.
you ever been slapped with an idli to the face?
No,
I mean,
a
in Italy it's
day old
soft.
idli, a day old, like just white.
Idli is hard, yeah.
A white, just
stale.
disc.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
shot put in Olympic,
Yeah.
it's just idli.
Yeah.
You just throw a fucking idli all the way.
Every auntie's ninja star.
I've definitely,
It's a stale
I've definitely,
idli.
South
I've
Indian
definitely been
ninjutsu.
stoned with a vada.
A vada.
Yeah.
Vada is
Ooh.
for real. Sambar in your face, that just freaking
Just
shot.
hot. If
Yeah,
it's hot.
that's the original pepper spray.
That's the
It's
original
some
acid
sambar,
burn.
some
Yeah.
rasam.
You know when jilted men attack women with acid? It was sambar in the beginning.
Sambar, yeah, that's what it was. And then in the West, they're like acid attack.
I toasted the mustard
Yeah,
seed extra.
extra mustard seed.
Right in the eyes. Take it, baby, take it.
the action hero line.
Yeah.
Extra mustard.
Wait, were you
seed.
just describing like sambar bukkake? Was that what that is? He was like, take it, baby, take it, baby.
That's right.
That's
right
a
in the
tab.
front,
That's a tab. All right, you Hyderabadi, come here, huh?
So Ritesh is the star of.
I was on a show called Stitchers. I'm on a show called Barbie's Dreamhouse Adventures.
He's the voice of Ken.
I'm the voice
Didn't
of
know
Ken.
that. Didn't know Ken for real is a brown boy.
It is.
Can you imagine Ken becoming more and more brown though?
Yeah,
He
where
gets
he's
up
like,
getting a
Barbie, I'm
belly.
sick of this. I want to go to my mom's house.
It was so.
Get in the kitchen, Barbie.
It was like funny because he's big into surfing and aquatic
Right.
sports, and I'm like, like half of people that I know who are Indian don't know how to swim.
Right.
And I'm like, we should change. Maybe we should
One
change
day-
interests.
you gotta go into the studio one day and be like, all right, you ready? Level's good? Okay. Hello, everybody. It's Ken here. And Barbie, how are you doing, though?
This is the whitest
Acid
boy.
in Barbie's face.
Barbie, you little slut. You little slut, Barbie.
What are you doing, huh?
my
Here,
God.
you can't cook for shit.
Oh, my God. My mother. What's Barbie's mom's name?
It doesn't
Karen.
have one. Barbie Senior.
Barbie
She
Senior.
she has a name. It's escaping me. Mom, Dad.
Barbara.
It's mom. Well, this cartoon is the first time I believe you see her parents.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
shit.
didn't know
cartoon.
that. How can there be parents
Yeah.
when there's no
Yeah.
reproduction on the
don't know.
doll?
There's no I mean,
That's the lore,
You
though.
tell me the limit
Maybe they're the next Messiah. I have no idea.
here. Yeah, I mean exactly.
Barbie for
The
the
immaculately conceived
That's hilarious
Barbie.
if they released that Barbie was Jewish the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's like, this is an outrage. Okay. What? It was Barbie the whole time, actually. I don't even know. So what else? Then when I saw you,
So
bro.
Russian dolls, another
That's
one.
when I saw you. So when I saw you in Russian Doll, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, bro. This guy's not just a bit player. This guy's in the plot. He's actually like
I'm there.
part of the fucking storyline. behind a cashier, okay? Like, Hollywood's not there yet. Not a full torso brown guy
No,
yet.
no.
But you are fucking in the bitch. You're
I'm
in
there.
the fucking bitch.
I'm there.
Okay, here's my question. I want to go back to Barbie.
Yes.
Are you ever worried about being reverse canceled because you're a brown guy doing whiteface?
So I've thought
Much
about
like
this.
The Simpsons.
Well, I've thought about this,
You
and
know,
the reality
the
is,
problem with
He's ready.
Ken.
He's ready.
The problem with Ken by Hank Azaria.
the thing is, I don't think Hank Azaria has the experience of being a Indian convenience store owner ever in
That's
his life.
because he's doing Barbie, though, right?
Hank Azaria,
Yeah.
he plays
That's
the
what
voice.
it
He plays
is.
the voice of Barbie. Hey. But I think I'm as American as they come, born and raised in New York,
okay.
right?
That's very Ken response, dude.
So, Malibu Ken could be New York Tesh. You know what I mean? Could be played by New York Tesh.
Hey,
I mean, that's the truth. That's the honesty.
I put in my roofies one drink at a time.
Now that
just
we're
like every
doxing
other
Ken,
man.
though, as a brown guy, I'm a little bit worried
I mean,
for,
did you
for
see?
Ritesh.
I think
Yeah.
you saw the video where we did a little
know?
clip where
You will not replace us. You've just been replaced,
Yeah.
bitches.
Well, we did.
I just can't imagine a white mom being like, "Yeah, that's awesome that a guy named Ritesh is now speaking sweet nothings into my daughter's
children.
ear."
They'd be like,
you know,
they're like, Ritesh, you got to do that take again. It was too sexy.
it was too sexy.
No,
to take.
because every time they do, because it's like a big part of the cartoon is the will they, won't they,
Right.
Between Barbie and Ken. So they'll,
Wait,
throw
will they,
the
won't they what?
hook up?
Aren't
like,
they
are
together or married?
No,
or-
but this is the whole lore. Is like they are into each other, but no
So
one
what
will
is the
say
nature
anything.
of their? Are they like? Do they work in a lab together? Like,
No,
what is
they're just
their-
high schoolers.
They're high
It's
schoolers.
equestrian,
Okay.
right? Don't they ride horses together? A lot of equestrian.
That's one of the interests of
Okay,
the family. I
right.
mean, Barbie could do everything and anything.
Of course, of
she's
course.
she's
True.
your
You're
modern
first,
day
man.
woman.
Yeah.
She's a modern day woman, so they've done a great job of pushing that forward.
He really has
She
become
can
white.
do
huh?
anything, including star as Mulan.
She could be Scarlet Joe.
Yeah.
Barbie can
Starring
become
Ghost in the
Scarlet Joe.
Ghost in the Shell.
Did the company give you like a white training course? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Here's a woman.
So I
She
didn't
can
have
talk,
to do that.
okay?
I didn't have
She
to
can
do that
talk.
because I grew up in
In
a very white
Westchester.
town. A very white town. Predominantly
Westchester is
Irish
the
Catholic,
whitest name on
Italian.
earth.
You pronounced
it's
Putnam
West,
wrong.
and then Chester, which is
Westchester.
truly the
Westchester.
whitest name.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, as you know,
Westchester.
Westchester.
that's why everyone calls me Tesh, because,
Tash.
they think I'm
Right.
just John Tesh.
John Tash.
Oh yeah, who's amazing?
Bring that back. I'm glad you do that.
Joe, can you edit this out?
Oh, we
Just what
can't.
they just did there.
No, what,
We're gonna get sued.
You mean the
All
highlight
the
of the
money
whole
that they
podcast?
made from the
You mean-
Patreon
you
is
mean
gone.
the pinnacle of this podcast right now? You want to X that out?
I mean, did you see how organically that happened? We
John
both
Tash
just
get
busted his
canceled
song.
for like.
For being too masterful
For-
with,
I mean-
with its work?
If you guys wanted to turn this into a Bollywood movie, it just fucking happened.
Did it really?
That's the Kabaddi theme song. That's Kabaddi on NBC. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome. Today
Kabaddi on NBC.
we have the Westchester Wombats.
So, Tish, I want to know a little bit about your journey as an Indian actor.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
first
what
of all, how are the parents with it?
So they've been actually, they've been really good, super supportive. I've been blessed in that aspect. My parents were always sort of behind me, which is
Okay.
usually the opposite experience of what I've been.
Right.
You know, when I talk
Were they
to
like
others.
stage mommy even?
They weren't stage mommy,
Did they
but
like
they were
say
still.
if you're like age 9, they're like, put a sock in your pants.
But basically,
Take the
so
audition,
I'll never
huh?
forget this.
Yeah, he can lose a couple of pounds, 2 weeks, no
Oh,
problem.
no, so here's
no
the thing.
problem. He's a
It
little
was like
fatty, huh?
His mom is like fluffing him.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good.
She's
okay.
like, God damn it, you'll just do porn
you're
for
a
2
star.
3 years and then you'll be legit.
She's
okay?
like, I knew this wasn't cut out for you. Fucking
Hot
idiot.
Hi, Harvey Weinstein. I want to introduce you to my son, Tesh.
I know the quickest way.
But there's a porn. Hot brown guy voices white doll.
I mean, that'll probably get like a bajillion views.
I mean,
it would be the hottest video in India.
I'm a fan. I'm a fucking fan.
I know. I would think so.
It's crazy because I saw you when you were already a little established. That's when I already you were already in the mix.
Yeah, so
You know?
before Russian Doll, I did Stitchers, and that was a great experience. We did 3 seasons on that
What
show.
is
on
Stitchers? What is
Freeform.
that?
It's a sci-fi procedural that was on Freeform that was about a secret government agency that solved crimes by going into the memories of the dead.
This guy talks and just log
And
lines.
you were what? Were you the IT guy? What were you?
Well,
in
so we
this?
were all scientists.
Okay.
So it was like a group of 5 scientists. The best
So
way to
there's no
explain
white people on this show.
Oh, no.
There's no white people at all on this
That's
show.
like sci-fi. It's
Yeah,
sci-fi.
it's sci-fi.
It's sci-fi.
It's sci-fi.
like a fictional world where
You know,
Past
so-
2046 when there's
We
no
only
white
have
people.
like 4 white people, and then everyone else is
Okay.
Right,
No,
right,
and they're like
But-
security.
Yeah, exactly. But everyone's a scientist. Everyone's a nerd. I was the nerdiest of the nerds.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
But I get to hook up with all the white girls.
Yeah?
On the show, so it's
Okay.
great.
Well,
so it was cool.
that's
and
great.
so I used to get
That
a
was
lot
your
of
payment.
Yeah, and then I get the death threats in my DM, like you motherfucker, like how dare you hook up with white girls? And I'm like,
Did you really get
oh,
that?
yeah.
From
yeah.
who?
I don't
Was
know.
it white
Just
guys or brown
rednecks.
guys?
I have no idea.
I know. Okay, so
Brown-
it was white
brown.
guys.
Brown.
Most because it was always racially motivated. I would find it very strange for a person of color to be like, stop touching that
Right.
white
So
girl.
that's what I was wondering.
And
I
I'd
thought,
be
it was
like,
maybe,
huh?
I thought it was maybe brown women or something. who
Oh
were like-
no! I mean, these people were maniacs.
But I also find it weird that like a redneck is watching this
Well,
sci-fi
this is the
show.
thing.
Who's
It was
like,
very much a tween show.
Right.
The best way to describe it is like Minority Report meets Scooby Doo.
Okay.
Like it's like
Okay.
a gang solving
Yeah.
crimes.
It sounds like Minority Report.
But
little bit.
wait, it's like I would have raped her too if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
maybe
Okay.
like
Some of the crimes are serious.
Crime on Scooby Doo.
Yeah, the thing, Minority Report. Minority Report is
Oh
like
my
a
God.
rape-based crime, dude.
But great experience, and then from there I went to Russian Doll. But back to your original question with my parents, they were very sort of Asian mentality. I would do the show. My mom would be like, that was really good. That was good. But why don't you just stand straight?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, Mom, I'm playing a character.
my mom,
You're
same
I'm
too.
like, I'm on
Same
stage.
shit, dude.
It's not me.
on America's Got Talent, she's like orange and green together.
Yeah.
What was that about, huh?
And my parents are always super supportive, but they were always pushing me to. Both my parents are doctors.
Right.
So obviously they just don't know. They're ignorant to what needs to be done to push my career forward. Because obviously they immigrated from India. I was born in New York. I have an older brother. He was born in India. I have a younger sister. She was born in New York. And they kind of are just like, oh, great, you've picked the one profession where you're not going to make more money than us.
Okay, hell yeah.
Just from the Indian immigrant mentality of just improving your
deal.
life.
The
Right?
whole
It's like,
deal.
why would I? You guys have all this money.
Right.
You're not
Exactly.
gonna
I'm
live
like,
forever.
you guys can take care of me
I
forever.
can afford
Yeah.
gray shirts.
Yeah,
now.
Liz
Okay,
t-shirt.
thank you.
Just $20 t-shirt from Urban Outfitter. So, great experience. And then, I got to work. So you know, they were always like, okay, well, what do you need to do? And so that started off. I knew that I wanted to be in performance at a young age. So I was doing as many shows as I could in middle school, high school, community theater. And then luckily we lived close to the city. So I would do internships over the summer with casting directors.
Oh, dude, you were in this bitch.
Yeah, like I was going, it was, you know, my mom was very
straight
Tiger
to
Mom.
casting directors, very intelligent
he was like,
and industrious.
He was like, one time they got me into sucking Kevin Spacey's dick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know how I got in that room, but
Listen, Kevin
my parents
Spacey
pushed
never
for me.
called me.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know, I don't know why. I don't know why they call it
The Harvey Weinstein summer, as they call it.
Yeah. But I was very, very lucky in that I had a very great support system.
And Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey. And, you know, my mom would have beat the shit out of him. You know, that's the best part. She'd been like, "Who are you,
Dude?
Do you imagine my mom?
Nobody
like,
molested my son
suck
but
my
me.
dick. Yeah.
just a pile driver to Kevin Spacey. just in her like.
I'll tell you how long you can suck his dick. Okay? That's
So,
what it is.
Yeah, and so I went to school in NYU for acting, and then when I graduated, I moved to LA, and I've been in LA for
Classic, bro. This is a
11
classic fucking
years.
hustle story, bro.
yeah,
it
just
is.
worked at it. I mean, it's a marathon. You
That's what
know,
it is.
people are like, "Oh, you just showed up," and it's like, "Well, no. You know, I've been in LA for 11 years, and
Right.
doing my thing. And
Exactly.
Been in New York.
Because those white women weren't banging you because, you know, it's all the some of your experiences got you that white girl.
Yeah. Well, you know, I always say that. Luck
Why is
favors-
White Girl the trophy here?
Well, he's in sci-fi.
Right.
The sci-fi, you know what I'm saying? It's the science fiction world.
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
So I always thought it would be some alien, you know, like an that would be the
Play the
pinnacle.
alien?
To play the alien, or to hook up with
Hey,
the alien.
where do I show up for makeup? They're like, don't worry about makeup.
You know,
Don't worry
that
about
show didn't have
wardrobe.
aliens, but if we're talking like larger sci-fi, the goal is to hook up with some, you know, creature, a Martian.
Yeah, some tentacled bitch.
Yeah.
Who's
Men
still a
in
white
Black,
girl, though?
you know?
Yeah,
Like, she's
who's
from like
still white.
she's from Blarglarg, and she's like, you're canceled.
When I think of Men in Black, the one scene that I always think about is when that octopus alien gave birth in the car, and Will Smith gets
Right.
gets blasted with
My
like
God,
Gets
Dude, I forgot
bukkake
about
by,
that.
Yeah.
by like a octopus
placenta.
placenta.
The alien
That whole
placenta.
movie was just a different bukkake scenes.
Yeah.
It was like
A lot, yeah.
bukkake,
Seriously.
bukkake.
Alien cum everywhere.
Everywhere,
Insane.
dude.
Just
Like, they have no
insane.
organs. It's just this fucking
Yeah,
ooze.
I know.
Oh my God.
So you know.
Do you have to worry at all? Because I mean, I feel like Indians have kind of crossed over a hump in terms of our acceptance in Hollywood and all that kind of shit a little bit. But what has been your experience in terms of like, okay, wow, they want to cast me as a fucking cab driver. They want to cast me as this. That.
Yeah.
Very stereotypical.
So
Indian
I'm
occupations.
always I lean towards where is the character coming from? You know, what is their background? What's their story? Like, I don't mind.
like, oh, he's hungry.
You like, I
He has
don't
10
mind. Yeah,
kids.
exactly.
Okay.
It's like, oh, he's
The
just.
idea is like, yeah, we gave this cab driver a backstory. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know
Well,
if this is
but
still...
it's so bare minimum. You think like, oh, this is if you're
Right.
writing a script, every character has a position in that universe.
Right.
But you'd quickly realize like, oh, people are fucking lazy. They'll just throw
Yeah.
a person in there that just needs to get the main character from A to B.
Right.
So they're like, oh, let's just get an Indian dude.
That's why white people, they'll make a sci-fi and make the brown guy an intergalactic cab driver.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like, he drives a cab
He's got
across
to take
dimensions.
him to Uranus from Neptune to Uranus, right? And you're just like,
He's a Mars
fuck.
terrorist.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here we go.
It's like this dude is piloting an asteroid into the moon. He's an intergalactic terrorist.
But he's real grumpy too.
Yeah, it's like
he's a real
you're like,
grumpy.
huh?
It's like, wait a
And
second.
for some
Wait,
reason,
you're
he's
like,
still listening to Indian music.
Wait. We figured out how to travel intergalactically, and you still chose a brown dude?
He just Uber.
Like, why couldn't
he
it
was
just not
he was
been
a
a human?
doctor in his home planet.
What? Yeah. He immigrated to Earth,
on
and
Blarglarg?
they made him redo his residency. So he was like, "Fuck it."
Dude, those Nargalites work so hard. Yeah.
Have you had to do what? I mean, what have been? I don't want to like. What's some? Have you turned down roles because you've been like, this is?
Yeah. There's been a couple times where I've been like, "No, I'm not doing this because this is just blatantly stupid."
Give us some
Right.
examples.
I mean, like you said, I'll get like the cab driver that has no background story, none.
Right.
And they were just like, "Can you do an Indian accent?" And I go, "Look, I'm not opposed to
Right.
doing it because obviously there are a lot of Indian cab drivers, but this person has to be a human being first.
Sure.
You can't just be a fucking afterthought." And for me, in the larger, broader conversation, is I always want to push the needle forward for kind of the South Asian community. So I don't mind playing the doctor or the cab driver, or even in Russian Doll. I was an Indian guy that worked at a deli,
He was, yeah.
right? And maybe some people are like, "Oh, that's stereotypical," but I'm a first generation guy
Right.
working at a deli that my father owns. And the character has a real story.
Right.
It's a real human being.
Right.
Those people exist.
Right.
We could go to a bodega right now and we'll run into
Oh,
a
for
brown
sure,
guy
100%.
running it.
Yeah.
And it might be, this is my family's place. I'm doing XYZ, right? And it's like, to me, that's what's important.
Right.
So
it's not
there's-
necessarily like,
There's a whole thing about accents, right?
Yeah.
And actors wanting to do or not do an Indian accent. I want Ritesh to break it down for our audience. What is the criteria for doing an Indian accent? When is it okay for an actor to do an Indian accent?
I think
when is it not okay?
I think it's easier to say when it's not okay, and I think it's not okay if your sole purpose is to degrade, lower, and make fun of, right? And the accent is used as a vehicle to that.
So be Indian.
Right.
So you can't be Indian when you're being an Indian.
yeah, well, it's like
You can't
well, it's
degrade or lower.
Like I always
mean
say,
being
like,
Indian?
but here's the thing: it's like, oh, so is that every Indian uncle? Like, just you know what I mean? And it's
Exactly.
like, no, because we understand this because we all grew up with these people.
Right.
Like, I can describe every Indian uncle with such specificity. People are like, oh, that's so good. How do you do that? Even when I'm thinking about it, I'm slowly shifting my accent.
Oh yeah, that guy cheated on his wife. And
Yeah, so but
that
that's
guy
because,
beats his wife. And
but the
that
reason
guy molested me.
Like when we do it, it's
Same
funny.
guy. Oh.
It's because there's a level of specificity. They don't know that we're drawing on the fact that I saw my uncle do this or get
Well,
like, say
man,
this. Or,
it's also like the idea
and-
that when white people write Indian characters, these uncle characters, they're always like, "Hello, everybody."
Yeah.
I don't know any uncle in my life that is whimsical like that.
I know.
Yeah,
They're
they're
sad.
like-
They're like, "Hey,
Oh, a thousand pardons! Like no
Yeah,
Indian
yeah.
uncle is apologetic. Like
Yeah, like for example, it's
Yeah.
like for example, it's like if I, the perfect way to describe
It's like,
this.
these guys are sullen bitches.
It's like,
yeah, we're not hospitable people. That's the thing about Indians. We're not like
I'll
very
never
hospitable.
forget this. My dad, and he loves me, and I love him, and I did a
Okay,
commercial.
sounds like you don't love your dad.
No.
Based on that
Because-
disclaimer.
No, because what I'm about to say, I did a commercial.
Keep saying it though. You'll
and
believe it.
and it was my first commercial, and I was only in the commercial for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And I told my dad, I was like, I booked a commercial, and he was like, and I was excited because it was a
we
commercial
go.
for the Knicks, New York Knicks.
we go.
Yeah.
And I was
Here
in
we go.
LA. So I'm a big Knicks fan, and I was like, yeah, but I'm only in the commercial for a couple seconds. And my dad just goes, well, next time maybe you'll be the main character. Right? And like a normal person will be like, that's fantastic. That's great. Like, it's good for you. But it's just not good enough for my dad. You know what I mean?
Dude, the dads are
And
like
that
yeah.
level of specificity, it's like, I get that, I understand that, that's who they are.
Yeah.
But it's like when someone is just like, let me just write this cab driver who's just, his sole purpose is to get abused by all the characters come into the
Right.
fucking taxi. And it just happens to be that they're all white.
Yeah.
Right? And they're just there to make fun of this dude.
And the sole purpose of him being Indian is to degrade him.
Is to
Right.
degrade him.
Right.
That's
Right.
when I'm like, okay, this is not what we want.
Yeah.
Right? And unfortunately, a lot of the broader comedy shows position people of color or immigrants in that sort of position where they're either just a vehicle just for comedy's sake, where they just are shitting on the character,
Yeah.
or that one character is used as a vehicle to just like magically fix something. That's
Right.
a blanket.
Dude, I think the only way to fix this stereotype, because it's so ingrained now, this cab driver actor
Yeah.
stereotype, we have to have a Rambo type movie where this guy just fucks and kills, and it's called The Cab Driver.
The cab driver.
I think for that to
You know
happen,
what?
you have to go to India, though.
That's what I'm
'Cause
saying.
That's what's happening.
That's what I'm saying. So we gotta have like some auto
Well,
CNG.
you know what?
He just fucks women all day.
But this is what
he saves everyone's
this
lives.
Is this, you know what this movie is Driver.
Driver.
But
Oh,
now
yeah.
just take Driver and replace it
with an Indian
with
man,
an Indian
but not
uncle.
a hot one.
Not a hot
I'm
one.
talking
Your
to
average-
Rajin.
like,
I
I want him.
Driver.
I
What
want him.
movie? What's Driver?
It's with what's his name?
It's an old movie. It's like an action movie.
What's his? I'm totally blanking on his name. Hot
Action-
motherfucker.
action movie. It's like
Is
a-
it Ryan
he's a great
Gosling?
actor. Yeah, Ryan Gosling.
It's Drive.
Oh,
Drive,
Drive. Sorry.
Fucking
What was
illiterates.
Driver? Driver was something else.
That's don't try and save it. Like Driver was a thing.
no,
okay?
It's an actor, by
fucking
the way.
idiot.
It's an actor.
Driver's gonna be your movie.
I fucked up.
Driver.
No, I want the Indian guy
Driver.
who's fucking though.
You
to
know
be
why
like
I made
disgusting.
a driver? It's because in India, one time, because obviously, like anyone who has money has a driver.
Yeah.
One time, I asked my family friend.
This is good politics. Look how smoothly.
I asked my family friend. I was
One
like, "Oh,
time-
what's the driver's name?" Because he's like been there forever. He's been their driver forever. Driver. And I'm like, no, yeah, but what's his name? Driver.
Yeah, that's
And I'm
hilarious.
like, God, fuck, what the fuck is his real name?
Driver Singh. It's Driver Singh.
God damn it, it's Driver.
Driver
And
Singh
I'm like,
is the
"All right,
third,
fuck this."
actually.
And then when I ask him, I'm like, what's your name? And he's just like,
Driver.
and I'm like, fuck this. So maybe we're onto something.
Maybe we are.
That's hilarious.
Drivers. It
It's
sounds like something Sarah Palin would name.
But
one of her kids.
this is like the antithesis to White. What was it? White Tiger? Did you guys see White Tiger?
Oh, well, that was amazing.
Yeah, great
But
movie.
the idea of
I read the book.
it's good. It's a good movie.
I read the book.
It's over there somewhere.
It sucked.
It's somewhere on his bookshelf.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen his bookshelf.
The driver character. We can't have a hot guy do it.
No.
I don't need some Jason Statham
I want a
as
guy. I want a dude in a wife beater.
He's got to be a crusty,
like
Indian
samosa
uncle.
stains and like a lungi.
Yeah, I don't want a Hrithik Roshan looking
No.
I
motherfucker
need
in
the
there.
brown guy from Terminal. You know
Yeah.
that guy who was like cleaning.
Yeah.
That dude. You know that some old
I don't remember.
motherfucker.
I don't remember.
In Terminal, there's that one brown guy.
No, we need Jatin, our previous
Our
guest,
Uber driver,
our
yeah.
Uber driver guest. We need him out
Oh,
there.
you got your Uber drivers
kicking ass,
last
week.
decapitating motherfuckers,
Yeah.
and just slaying
I like
puss all
this.
over.
Dude, we're just selling our idea to the world.
We
Great.
are.
And then singing Kawalis while
I
he's
think
killing
we're
them.
gonna write this movie.
Should we
I
do it?
actually believe we are going to write
think
this
we're onto
movie.
something.
the cab driver.
You're gonna have to cut this
The
out
cab
so
driver.
nobody takes our ideas. Or better yet, we let someone take the idea and then we sue them
sue the
later,
fuck out of them.
and then use that money to
There's
make
the
the
Ken
movie.
coming out.
And
There's
use
that
that
inner
money to make
Ken
the movie.
coming out.
I've learned a
You
thing
are
or two.
Ken, bro.
I've learned a thing or two in Hollywood.
And in Putnam,
Putnam.
Yo,
Don't fuck
shout out to
around.
Mayapack. Shout out to
Putnam gang.
Mayapack. I don't know if anyone in Mayapack will watch this. That's
What's
my home.
Mayapack?
That's my hometown.
Jesus,
Okay,
how many
how
hometowns
many-
do you
I
have?
don't wanna do this.
Westchester,
Dude,
Putnam,
that's a county.
Mayapack.
This is
Come
like
on.
shitty townception. We're at the
Yeah,
very,
it really
we're in
is.
the
At the
beginning.
bottom of the Russian doll of shitty towns.
We're in the fourth level.
Where are we, dude? And of course,
I'm looking
we're
at
deep
Dante's
down that
map of
rabbit
hell. It's
hole.
like Putnam,
Mayapack. Manny
But they're
Pacquiao'sville. What's going on? I'm sure it's a great place.
I had fun there growing up.
We got a Walmart.
Yeah, it's funny. I think it was like the only town that went red, and all the surrounding towns are blue. So
Hell
it's
yeah,
like
dude.
an interesting
bunch of Indians. Who are
interesting
like, we love
dynamic.
Trump.
Yeah, basically.
Trump
it's probably
lovers.
like-
Well, we always say this because my high school mascot is the Indian because it's
Oh, really?
like Native American
but not
heritage.
Native American. Just a fucking.
No, this is what I
don't
said.
want
So this
that.
is the
That's
debate.
what I want.
So
I want the Indian mascots to be Indians.
just some
okay?
guy,
this is what
just
I
some Dhaba
said.
guy.
So-
Yeah.
Some
and I-
Dhaba has to do with a tiffin.
I was like, you want some Pani Puri?
Yeah. I want the
So
Putnam
I
County
always
like
said-
Gujaratis.
The Putnam
you know?
County Parveens. You know what I'm saying?
And I was like, they should just change it to like a picture of my parents at
Right.
the wedding.
That's the mascot I want to see.
And I was like, look, if you're gonna make
And
fun, if you're gonna make fun of a culture and a heritage and be totally insensitive, at least do it correctly.
You know when they have the cheerleaders and the mascots dance? The Indian uncle's just like sitting there, mascot, you guys go.
They're all in
You
saris.
guys go. Yeah.
We put all the hair
Mascots, like,
extensions,
sleeping.
jasmine flower.
Mascot's watching ZTV, doesn't move around at all.
You just imagine Tiffany and Becky and Rebecca, and they're all in lengas.
Lenga.
We put like way too many bangles on them.
I can't jump anymore.
Give me an R.
We're like, everyone needs to get a nose piercing. Everybody.
They come out, they're like, what are you guys doing? Go back inside. What are you doing? This is not what's happening. Women are not going to be out here.
Dude, they're all in burqas.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the football team running out in lungis?
Yeah.
They're not running out anywhere. They're walking out.
They're like, they have to pick it up. And they're
Yeah.
People don't realize that lungi is never involved in underwear. A lot of white people think like, oh, lungi, like you fucking little undershirt, underwear.
Well-
lungis are free form, free ball.
It's
and
different.
free love.
It's like why would I leave that all open? Then
Exactly.
just cover it up.
Well,
It's
there's
retarded.
there's 2 seasons in India where it's hot as balls, and then monsoon
Yeah,
where it's
it's
humid
true.
as fuck.
Hot as balls
humid as
started.
balls.
That's very started in India. Some
Probably.
guy
It had to.
So they
saw someone's balls
hot
like melt.
balls.
hanging.
Hot
Like,
Indian balls.
dragging on the freaking train platform. It's like that's hot as balls.
It's hot as balls. It's hot as my balls.
It's hot. As
I could cook an
balls.
egg on those balls.
Just a little street gulab jamun.
A little street gulab jamun, dude. Hey, baby.
Here you go,
Make
baby.
my gulab jamun, baby.
Little gulab jamun.
It's like I'm lacking a little syrup.
Here comes the rush.
comes the
It's
syrup.
extra
Here comes
hot.
the rush.
Extra hot today. Extra hot syrup.
Here comes the. I'll take you to the roti shop, huh?
Oh man.
the roti shop.
Show you all the halwa I got, huh? This is a joke we should have made 18 years ago.
18 years ago, we really should
That
have.
was my dad used to love that song, Candy Shop. And I
Really?
don't know. And I
What?
don't know if he ever knew what that song actually meant.
An innocent song about
was like,
candy.
yeah,
What
he was
could be
like-
wrong about it?
and
When it's
that-
all about sucking dick.
Was that he also loved It Wasn't Me by Shaggy.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
And there was another one, and I'm forgetting what it was called, but it was Mariah Carey and Busta Rhymes. Kind of more of a slow jam.
Okay.
It was like, baby, you can
Yeah,
give
the
it to
Busta
me.
Rhymes slow jam.
Yeah, that one.
You know what
I want it.
Oh, yeah,
baby.
And then Busta's like, right?
And so those were, when he would drive me to Kumon, and I was sitting in the backseat crying because I didn't want to go to Kumon,
Right.
and these songs
He's
would
like,
come
this will
on.
make you feel better.
Because
He's like, listen to these songs about adultery.
Yeah.
you did a drive
And sucking dick.
drive 3 hours to the nearest Putnam Kumon.
Just to torture my ass. Yeah. He'd be like, you'll never hook up with a girl before you're 25. Here you go.
Here's the anthem about getting sloppy toppy.
He's like, you're a 12-year-old nerd. Here, listen to these songs while I drag your ass to
Here, my
Kumon.
two good friends.
Here's what I'm going to be doing while you're studying the quadratic formula.
He's like, I
gonna be
figured
doing
out.
this
I
to your
figured it out.
mom.
He's like, you know what's worse than getting physically beat is psychological torture.
Yeah.
So let's
He's,
take you to
your
Kumon
dad wants to
every
get
day.
no level.
He's doing the Ying Yang Twins whisper song in your ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, baby girl, release put in your ear. You're a dumb bitch.
Hey, little boy, let me
You're a
whisper in
little
your
boy.
ear.
Well, it was funny because my mom did most of the like disciplining and yelling, at home, school stuff.
Right,
but
right.
if my dad got involved, it was kind of like, we're in trouble.
Oh, always, yeah.
It
My
was
dad
like,
had one fight
we're in
move.
trouble.
He had one fight move. He would take my ear and then twist
Oh,
it.
yeah. Kan pakaro.
Kan pakaro. That's the one.
So
that's the one
my
move.
mom would do the pinching and the ear pulls, and she would do it in public too.
Right.
And she would we'd get in trouble at home, but then she'd pinch us in public. Just to embarrass us.
Right,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Just to embarrass us, right? So
And
if
their
I
pinch game is like they went to the Shaolin Temple to learn
it's
pinching.
the worst. It's like,
And they know how to do it in stealth. They know how to do that shit in stealth too. You'll just be innocently fucking up somehow, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
you'll just feel like,
That's
you'll
crazy.
be at,
That's
get stung by a
crazy.
hornet.
and they'll do it
Yeah.
anywhere. Like
Yeah.
you'll be at Temple, right? And so we used to go to the
100%.
Temple in Queens, right?
Yeah.
And we'll be in the canteen in the basement, and right as I'm about to take my first bite of dosa, and I've excessively dipped it, she'll just pinch me, and I'll be like,
You know what's also crazy is they have the Shaolin move for the lotion application too. It's never. It's like
no, that's it.
and then your nose is there.
They mush your
eyebrow
face.
is
You know
over
what I
there.
love?
And they do it ninja style too. Because in the morning I'd just be innocently like, I'm getting ready for school. All of a sudden, this face,
Bam!
this hand.
You know,
what's-
and at
you
the
know
end of
what's
it,
so
at the
funny?
end of it, dude, I'm like a woman now.
It's
like I changed
hilarious
genders.
because if anyone saw any of our family photos, especially when we were in India from my age, from 5 to 12, and you see all of our cousins, you would think we were all doing whiteface.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
the
yeah,
amount,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
amount of lotion,
Just lotion.
and sunscreen and baby
Lotion,
powder
dude.
on us,
Yeah.
you're just like,
Just roasting
did
in
these
the- in
people
the-
all
yeah.
just run through
Yeah.
a flower factory?
Yeah,
Is
dude.
that a ghost? It looks like a
It's
ghost.
like a sitcom.
Yeah, it
You're like,
doesn't
did this
even look white.
Indian, did this Indian family just
You
rob?
bypassed Caucasian and went straight to ghost.
It was, it's like one of those goofy I Love Lucy skits where
100%,
it's in
dude.
black and white, and everyone's running, and the
Dude, it
music,
really is. There's a lot of lotion.
like
a lot of
a
lotion.
Benny Hill skit, and we just
And
run
then
through
it's-
bags of flour.
And dude, I never got small lotions growing up. It was always a vat that was in a factory that could also be a brewery
Dude,
of just ponds.
There's a couple things. It's obviously the bags of rice. You see, white people go to the grocery store and they get a box.
A box,
of rice.
yeah.
And we have to go. My mom's like, you need to come to the store with me because I have to buy 18 burlap.
Yeah.
That was the
Exactly.
first child labor laws that were broken. Was these American Indian kids carrying 4 bags of basmati? That should have been a child abuse.
There was one time where Costco or BJ's or whatever, there was
That they
some
were
white-
dry humping 10 minutes ago while their mom was looking for suji or
Also,
something.
the Indian restaurant, Indian grocery stores, other aunties will hit you. I remember I
yeah.
used to go and
They'll
they'd be
call
like,
you out.
Hey, pick it, but out.
It's
And
a tag team.
And what, foxtailing the basmati rice into your face.
Just they're just full shot put technique.
Shot putting
It's like
box with the
if I
interface.
asked, if I was like, hey auntie, can you just grab that? A bag of chips. Oh no, it's but all of a sudden they can fucking throw their chupples at you, their slippers at you, like a throwing knife.
Chupples at you, dude.
Chupples.
I don't want
Chupples.
to. My mom would be
Chupples.
like, this is crazy shit my mom would do when we'd go into this brown grocery store. She'd be like, get with the lentils. I'd go to the 9-mile lentil aisle. Which lentil do you want?
Yeah.
She's like, get the lentils. And I'm like, what? So I spent hours bringing back lentils, not that.
the wrong one.
Wrong
Yeah.
lentil. The chapta. I'd go to get 5 chaptas. And she's like, she would get angrier and angrier.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get the right lentils. It was it
There's
was real
always
shit.
there's always the revolving conversation of the miscommunication of calling something either so my mom is from Hyderabad, so she'll either, and my dad's from Chennai, so at home they speak in Tamil, but then some of the words will be in Hindi, and my dad doesn't really speak Hindi, but my mom spoke Hindi, and then he'll be like, I don't know what that is,
Right.
and then it's in English, so it'll be like, oh, go get the chickpea flour.
He'd be like, oh,
and
you
it'll
want
be
a
like,
divorce?
okay, so I'm like,
okay.
so I was like,
I didn't
oh,
know. I don't speak Hindi.
the basin flour, and they're like, no, the chickpea flour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so basin flour?
Basin.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Chickpea flour. And I'm like, so basin. And then they're like, yes. chickpea flour.
Okay, also-
Basic-
and
and
also-
I'm like, why can't you just
It's
fucking tell
hard
me
to-
what it's
And you know
called?
what? The labels are written by a 95-year-old Indian mom. So it's like
spelled
she
wrong.
spells it
Yeah,
half
everything's spelled
Hindi,
wrong.
half
Yeah.
English. You know, it's chickpea with 3 Ks.
Yeah.
It's like, what
You're
the
like, that doesn't say basin.
Yeah.
It just says basement.
basement flour.
It says
Okay.
basement flour.
No, that's my best is going to like Patel Brothers or whatever, and all the produce just misspelled horribly.
Oh, man.
It's like jalapeno,
Well,
and it's
I'll say this. I did a movie last
Apple,
summer.
APUL.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, what are we doing here?
We filmed the movie and we had to do a scene in Patel Brothers, and it was outside of Pittsburgh. Called Definition Please. That's the movie. So hopefully when it comes out,
Are you going to
guys
name every
watch it.
shitty city
Outside
before the
of
end of the
Pittsburgh,
podcast?
where-
Oh yeah, dude, this is my plug.
Wait,
Come
was
on.
this- was
That's
this-
why I'm on this couch.
I was in
Yeah.
Boise the other day.
Was this Monroeville?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
You know
because
that?
that's where the big SV temple is. The
It must
Sri
be.
Venkateswara
Is this- you
temple,
want-
the
you want to
Balaji
this one?
temple.
So our director Suj, she's from outside Pittsburgh in Greensville.
Mm-hmm.
So she took us to this Patel Brothers. It was like a fucking Whole Foods.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit! And this is what I was like, the new generation.
Oh, yeah.
And then I asked him, I was like, because the only Patel Brothers around us is the ones in Long Island or in Queens, and so my parents don't usually go. But I was like, oh, this is like a normal Indian grocery store. I was like, God damn.
Extra level.
I was
Yeah.
like,
You should go
dude,
this
he
one.
had all of the.
I've been to it.
He has all of like the mixture, like the murkas and the snacks and the
whole deal.
bundi and the corn stuff. And they're each, it's like going into Whole Foods where they have all the different types
Yeah.
of nuts and
Dude,
granola.
so
and
crazy.
like you can make your own bag
yeah.
with the scooper and then you weigh it. And I was like, good for these guys. Good for them.
In one, there's this little small kid you can buy. You know what I'm saying?
He
Little
makes great
child sex slaves.
samosas.
Yeah. Get Raj. He's going
Yeah.
to be good for you, right? Your little
He
servants,
really crimps those corners.
little serpents in a vat.
He won't spit. He won't spit in the kadai.
Yeah, this is really
He makes sneakers too. Actually,
Yellow such up in there.
He comes with his own shoes and
This
t-shirt.
is a really Indian restaurant. This is really nice.
I was like,
damn, dude. Oh my god. Little vat of brides. Just
Yeah.
pick one out. Woo.
They have all the workers sleep in the back with no sheets, no pillows. Dude, I'll never forget it.
On the little straw.
So the first
straw
time I
mattress.
went to India, I was in second grade, and I came out of the airport in Hyderabad, got off of the airport, stepped outside, and a boy with no arms, who was my age, runs up to me.
He can run at least.
Yeah, just runs up to me.
he headbutts you.
And just
else
starts
can he
he just
do?
tackled
Yeah,
it. And he's like,
They have nubs,
he's
right?
like, sir, paisa,
Okay.
money. Obviously, I'm American.
Yeah.
I'm wearing like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, like those
Wait,
shoes. I
two
wear.
different games?
These are two cross. It's like Bape and Supreme.
Yeah, dude. I did whatever I wanted. I was
Okay,
like,
hell yeah.
And my mom, I'll never forget. I was like immediately just culture shock.
Yeah.
Did you
Never- I was
fatality
like-
a homeless guy?
I was like, I was just like, my mom just goes, she's just like, don't. That's
Right,
it. That's all
right.
she says. She's like, don't. I'm like, don't what? And she's like, just come here, don't.
Dude, I mean, it's
Just don't.
Just
Speaking of
don't.
Mortal Kombat, it looks like that kid had a run-in with Jax.
But I was so like, oh wow, this is a whole different world.
Yeah.
So my dad wasn't kidding when he said he
Whole
got his
new
first pair of
world.
shoes when he was like 12.
Dude, that's my mom.
Because like I'm
my
like, I
mom-
don't know what the
dude,
exaggerations
My mom,
are.
you're so right. My mom is so brutal with these fucking homeless
Oh,
people. My
yeah.
mom turns into a kind of crazy person.
It's weird.
Like, we'll walk out of Dhaka airport, right? She'll like look over, look at this, kick over the guy's cart. You know, the cart where he's like clawing by.
Get paid,
Hey,
bitch.
Hey, let's go
Yeah.
homeless tipping. And this goes like tipping on a homeless
Well, it's
guy.
like really, and then we go right, and then you see the servants, and they're just like sleeping on the ground. I'm like, first of all, they're still called servants.
Right.
Why are they sleeping on like the step?
Yeah,
they'll like
exactly.
sleep on
They
the
don't even
one
have ground.
individual
They have to
step.
sleep on stairs.
They sleep on like the one
don't even get
individual
flat
step.
ground.
Sleep on step.
They won't even sleep on like the floor. They'll
Right.
each have an individual step
Dude,
like this.
dude,
and I'm like, you
that
could
is
just
so- that
move
is
one
so
step
true.
down, and at least you can turn over 2 inches to the left
I'm
and to the
thinking they
right.
can sleep anywhere.
I'm like taking
Yeah.
a shit. I look down. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the?
fuck?
You're inside the outhouse?
I'm like in the apartment building. There's people like sleeping underneath the Harry, like the Harry Potter closet.
yeah.
And I'm like,
you
Listen, you can see Indian servants sleeping just standing up.
Yeah.
They'll just like lean against
I'm like,
the wall.
this is a
Dude,
different
sometimes you'll
world.
walk in a hall, look up, they're like bats. Just like hanging down off the wall.
I was like, this is why Indian people are not scared of vampires because
Yeah.
they're their servants. They're like, oh, a stranger showed up and tried to bite you in the neck.
Oh my
that
God.
happens every day.
That's how we say hi
Yeah.
in Dhaka.
Well, this has been upper class Indian problems.
Yeah, I know, right? Jesus Christ.
Downton. Imagine doing the Indian version of Downton.
Downton
Abbey.
Abbey.
And you because our people were like, they would also like those guys would like watch.
bats.
They were like working, right? And they would like watch 2 seconds of like Jackie Chan movie, and then the meanest aunties like fucking spidey senses, like upper class senses would tingle. She started running in. Hey, what are you doing? Watching Jackie Chan? Watch this. Like Jackie Chan, his body.
But you know what's crazy? It's
This
like
is so true. This is all like some
this
upper
is all
class
true.
bullshit.
You know what's really wild to me is when the people come and they'll be like, "Oh, why were you late?" You know, and they'll be like, "Oh, my husband came home drunk and he decided to just slap the shit out of me." And I'm like, "He's beating you?" And they're just like, "Yeah,
Yeah. What about
and
it?
you're just like, "Should we do something?" And they're like, "Do what?" You know, and you're just like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Right. It's just the level of where they're coming from is just completely in a different universe. It's like.
Yeah. It's different. It's different laws, different
world,
lives.
different, society, and
You know, yes means yes, no means hell yes. You know,
There's been an advertisement by the Tourism Board of India. Armless children, abused slaves.
we have local actor / Modi enthusiast Ritesh Rajan.
am I gonna get killed now next time I go to India?
Next time you go to a Patel Brothers.
My parents are gonna be
No,
so
they're
upset.
gonna like put a crown on your head. You know?
They don't know who I am.
I didn't know you hated women this much. This is amazing. You know, but it's like I always remember loving the servants so much that one time I wanted to sleep with them. I was like, I was like a little bitch. I shall lie with you. And in solidarity, and I walked in.
You're gonna get us killed,
No,
kid. You're gonna
it
get
was
us fucking
legit.
killed.
I walked in. It smelled like cow shit. I was like, "Listen, buddies, I'll see you from over there." I bounced. I was like, "It smells so fucking shit here." Like it's just like it's a.
Well, it's India in general is like it's one of those crazy places where you see the richest people you've ever seen, and then across the street you'll see just like people
an
making a
armless
roof.
kid.
Yeah, you'll see people
Digging
making
a
a
ditch with
roof
his
out
teeth.
of cow dung.
Right.
You know,
and we're like, he's the mayor of this town. He's an armless kid.
and it's like no matter what, you can't escape that dichotomy.
But somehow these armless kids are also flying kites somehow. Like I don't know what they're doing, but these kids be doing activities too. So they don't
True.
live like American kids
With their
Oh,
teeth.
no, they
just
hustle.
running.
Dude, you're the fucking total man. You came in full mango, dude. Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to say to the
what do you got
kids?
planned?
We got some Indian kids
um,
who are like actors or want to be actors or
Yeah,
wanna be.
my advice to the South Asian community or people who come from communities where maybe the arts are not as promoted, my advice to you is fucking work your ass off. Do anything you can right now. Write, read, watch shows, support the
Suck
community.
Kevin Spacey's
Yeah.
dick.
Suck it with reckless abandon.
Only if you want to. And
or don't.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Especially if you don't. That's when you
And
really got to go in for it.
Just fucking, put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to fail.
And let Kevin put himself out there.
I've been failing for 10 years, and here I am. Just keep falling forward. And take it seriously. Don't, like, pretend you're an actor. If this is something you
Don't
want to
act
do.
like an actor.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
it's a comedian, writer, dancer,
Just be.
director, actor, really study your craft. Take it seriously. And I think the more you take it seriously, the more your parents, your family, the people around you will take it seriously and take you seriously. And that's what you
amazing,
want.
There it is.
Wow.
Subscribe to Mango Bay on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Write us a review. Patreon. We got hours of bonus content.
Watch Barbie.
Watch Barbie.
Watch Barbie.
Watch Barbie. And I mean, unless you're a guy over the age of 20.
Of
then
zero.
you're
No,
being
still watch
fucking-
it.
Seconds.
you're
Still
being
watch
fucking
it.
weird.
It's
20?
dope.
Okay. Then you don't think it's a little creepy?
Barbie can
Nah, I
slap.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah. You want some 55-year-old Indian uncle watching Barbie?
Exactly.
Okay.
Takeover's real. I want everybody to watch
They
Barbie.
would love it, actually. It would probably be, the way the
And,
relations are so good.
We got some new stuff coming out on Netflix for Barbie, I think. I don't have dates. And then I did a movie called Definition Please. When that's out, everyone rent it and watch it.
Can't wait. Sujata Day, right?
Sujata.
Shujao, a killer.
Awesome. Love it. Thanks, Ritesh.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. And
Come again.
boom.
Your mango bay.